So there were 452 illegals apprehended at the Hyundai mega plant construction site.
And this raid is the largest single-site operation that DHS has conducted in history. Of the over 450 people arrested right now, around 300.
South Korea is working to secure the safe return of hundreds of citizens after they were caught up in an immigration raid last week.
I was the one that reported the information that I had to ICE.
America might just be the most cooked it has been in a while, and an example of this was that just yesterday Charlie Kirk got killed at one of his most recent events that he was hosting. But I won't be going into that today, it's just a little too heavy, and instead I'm going to be covering something a little lighter. Apart from the frequent shootings, one thing that happens more often in America than in any other country is the occurrence of raids. No, not that kind of raid. If you haven't already heard, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, has recently conducted a raid on a group of foreign workers at a car battery plant near the Savannah in Georgia, resulting in 475 workers being detained by the DHS. You might be asking, what's so special about this raid? You know, those things happen all the time there, right? You see, this all started from a woman named Tori Branum bragging on TikTok about how she was the one responsible for reporting the group of workers to the authorities.
And I was the one that reported the information that I had to ICE.
She basically did the equivalent of what Valve did when they banned all those gibbers wearing spin sniping bots off the game. Except these people are not bots and are actually mostly South Korean nationals who came into the US legally.
Please stop this madness.
Not only that, but the company that they were working under was actually Hyundai. The Hyundai battery plant that was set to open next year was actually going to be Georgia's biggest industrial investment in the state's history. You might say, oh, these guys were coming here to take our jobs, yada yada yada. They weren't, and I'll tell you why. Hyundai is a South Korean company that could not employ Georgians due to a language barrier. These South Korean nationals, who had valid visas by the way, were meant to train Americans, which meant more employment opportunities for the local Georgians.
Wow. Woo! Bravo, you fucking idiot!
Tori Branum's report has single-handedly caused more harm than good for the economy, and it has rippled into the loss of millions of dollars as well as the loss of trust between international investors. The power of one white woman was enough to set Americans back by so much. Unbelievable. It turns out that there are really only 3 companies in the world that make the equipment that is responsible for the production of these batteries, and none of those companies are in the US. So this would have been a monumental step for the American economy. But because of the actions of a woman who was born on a random Thursday morning, many others will have to pay the price. Officials say that the raid was described to be one of the largest single-site raid enforcement operations in ICE's 2-decade history.
The raid was the largest single-site immigration enforcement operation in DHS history. Now, the White House is warning more large-scale worksite raids will follow.
Apparently, as reported by Charles Koch, ICE's original plan was to identify and detain 4 Latino workers. Unbeknownst to them, they were instead met with 475 South Korean nationals. Everyone! This was completely unplanned for, and they didn't even have a single Korean translator with them throughout the entire raid.
English is your best language?
是，英文是我们最好的语言。Yes.
They were looking for 4 Latino workers. That's it. The Koreans were never part of the plan, which is why they didn't even bring a single Korean translator with them.
To say that the South Korean government is displeased would be a bit of an understatement.
I'm getting really sick of you!
Apparently, there was even a short cartoon comic in the Korean newspaper basically clowning on the US for returning their investment with harassment.
A Korean newspaper even had this cartoon right here where they are depicting Trump as a sort of a bully. It starts off by saying that the US was begging Korea for more investments, and now they're arresting hundreds of South Koreans on a business trip.
South Korea's foreign ministry even came out to express their concern and disappointment in the decisions made by the Americans.
You're a fucking disappointment.
First of all, South Korea's foreign ministry came out immediately to say that they are expressing concern and regret over Washington's decision to do this.
Again, this all started from Tori Branum. You could argue that they didn't because the Trump administration meant that they were likely gonna raid these organizations anyway, but you cannot deny that she had caused somewhat of a snowball effect.
So y'all can't just look at it like they're ripping good people off the job. They're probably saving their lives in the long run.
Man, what the fuck is you talking about? What the fuck was that?
I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking about it.
You might be asking, well, what is she doing right now? Is she paying for her consequences?
No!
Well, on TikTok, she's defending herself like Prime Mayweather, and also she's running for Congress.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. All in all, America is pretty much cooked. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and let me know if I've missed out on anything. Comment Hyundai to get a free Hyundai.
We do not care.